I don't feel so good.
You're all right.
I don't know what's happening.
I don't want you to go either. I don't want you to go. I don't want you to go. Sony giveth and Sony take it away. Hey everybody, thanks for clicking on this video and checking out my channel. This is a very impromptu video. This is a video that I don't usually make, but this is something I really wanted to talk about. I'm actually at work, so I'm on my break at the moment, but so this is gonna be a short video. I don't have that much time, but I just heard the news. I just got well, it's not a major world issue. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bummed out right now because Sony has decided to end their deal with Marvel of letting Spider-Man in the MCU. Apparently, they were working out negotiations. Disney or Marvel wanted 50-50. They couldn't agree on anything, and they axed the deal. The deal's done. And I'm disappointed, man. I love this incarnation of Spider-Man so much. I'm very thankful that we got to see him at all in the MCU, interacting with the Avengers and everyone in them, and I just hope they keep Tom Holland. I hope that when they take Spider-Man back, they don't take away Tom Holland. That'd be so unfair to Tom Holland, and I don't want that to happen. He's totally earned this. He's a great Peter Parker. He's a great Spider-Man. I love him in the role. I don't want them to axe him like they did Andrew Garfield because they have to take him back. But it does bring up questions now because the character, this Peter Parker, is so tied to the MCU, not just by being in the world, but also by his interactions with the characters who he surrounds himself with, are characters that are so tied to the MCU. Happy Hogan, his relationship with Tony Stark, that still haunts him. And are they just gonna ignore all that? Are they all just gonna act like that didn't happen? That doesn't matter? Are they even gonna address it? Are they gonna have like vague references? I don't know how they're gonna handle that. And I really just hope they keep Tom Holland. I don't want them to axe him, but this news really bums me out. As a big Spider-Man fan, I'm a fan of this character and the character of the MCU that we've had. This really makes me, this breaks my Spidey heart a little bit. Now, I'll give Sony a benefit of the doubt, but I will say this. This really comes across to me as Sony getting their ego back, and that kind of irks me. Because Sony came to Marvel, they came with Spider-Man when they were broken, when they were in the trenches and they didn't know what to do with the Amazing Spider-Man series. It wasn't going the way they wanted to, wasn't financially working out the way that they planned. So they went to Marvel, and let's be honest, Marvel saved their butts with this Spider-Man. Let's be honest, Marvel laid the foundation down. They created this fan base for this character. They've built this character up in the eyes of the audience so well to the fact that he's almost universally beloved by everybody. And yeah, Sony, they did have some work in that too, but I honestly think a lot of the reason this Spider-Man is so beloved and this Spider-Man works so well and is universally accepted is because of the work that Marvel has done for this character and laying this foundation down and the base that they've created, and they've totally earned that. I think their negotiation of 50-50 was appropriate. I think they've totally earned it. They are a big reason why this Spider-Man is so popular and why this Spider-Man has worked so well, because of the work that they've done with him in the MCU. And this really just comes across to me as Sony getting their ego back. You know, they had a hit with Into the Spider-Verse, which was great. I love Into the Spider-Verse, and that's where some of the benefit of the doubt for Sony comes in, but I'll talk about that a little later. They came with Into the Spider-Verse. It was an Oscar winner. It was a great movie and a fantastic Spider-Man movie. So that boosts their ego a little bit. And then you get the fact that Spider-Man Far From Home has now become their highest grossing Sony movie of all time, apparently. That definitely boosts their ego, right? That's their movie, technically. They distributed that movie. That is theirs, and it's now their biggest one. So this just comes across to me as like Sony coming to the MCU with Spider-Man saying, fix him. We need help. And now they're at this arrogant point where they're like, we can do it ourselves now. Thank you very much for your help. Thanks for fixing him. We've got it from here. And I'm just like, Marvel has done so much for this character, and it really irks me that Sony kind of feels like this is just how it feels from a fan's perspective. I don't work in the Hollywood industry. I don't know. I'm not in that industry. I don't know much about that industry. But from a fan's perspective, what I'm seeing from these negotiations, from this article of Sony taking back Spider-Man, this comes across to me as they just got their ego again. And that makes me a little worried. That makes me it's a little disappointing to me, to be honest. And it does, it leaves me with questions, you know, like, what is this Spider-Man gonna be? I mean, obviously they want Spider-Man for this Venomverse that they've created. They were talking about how they could see this Spider-Man interacting with Venom. I can see all that. I can see why they'd want to do that. And I will give Sony the benefit of the doubt with this, because Sony has made good Spider-Man movies. They made Spider-Man 2, my favorite Spider-Man movie. They made Into the Spider-Verse, which was great. But, you know, they do have more losses, in my opinion, with Spider-Man than they have wins. Even the first Spider-Man I like a lot. So there's 3 Spider-Man movies that they made that I really like. And then they've also done Spider-Man 3. They also got their hands in with The Amazing Spider-Man and The Amazing Spider-Man 2. So what's the difference with Tom Holland? I hope they've learned their lesson, because even they've asked Kevin Feige. Kevin Feige isn't even going to be involved in the Spider-Man movies anymore as the executive producer or anything like that. He's done. They've gotten rid of him too. And I mean, I could look back at this video that I'm putting out here and laugh and call myself an idiot, and I'm totally willing to do that if years from now Sony releases their Spider-Man movie, and I love it. You know, it's totally possible that Sony releases another fantastic Spider-Man movie, even better than the ones that we've had in the MCU. But it's just so disappointing to think that we won't see that character interact with these other characters anymore. Like, we're not going to get to see Spider-Man interact with the Fantastic Four. Spider-Man's, like, first issue, or one of his first early issues, I can't remember off the top of my head, was him wanting to join the Fantastic Four, with him trying to join, and he had this kind of like rivalry or like frenemy kind of friendship with the Human Torch that would have been really fun to explore and see in the MCU, and we're not going to get that now. And I'll admit, I mean, it's a like small world, who gives a crap kind of issue to be bummed out about, but I'm not going to lie, my Spidey heart is just a little bit broken, and this does kind of bum me out. And anyway, guys, I just wanted to get my thoughts out about this. It kind of sucks. I can't get around it. It kind of sucks. It is a bit of a bummer, in my opinion, and I don't know. Maybe I'm overreacting, you know? Like I said, Sony could come out and they could make a really good Spider-Man movie out of this. I don't know if this means that we don't get Spider-Man 3 in the MCU, because of the cliffhanger of Far From Home. I really want to see a third Spider-Man movie. Kevin Feige said that the Spider-Man movie would be like no other Spider-Man movie that we've seen before. And if he's not going to be involved anymore, are we going to get to see that? Are they going to let them do another Spider-Man movie in the MCU? Like, I don't know. It's a little bit of a bummer. While I am a little irked at Sony, I'm thankful that they gave us Spider-Man in the MCU at all. It created such amazing moments of him at the airport fighting along the Avengers, the stuff with Iron Man and Spider-Man Homecoming, seeing him in Endgame, for crying out loud, and in Infinity War was great. I don't know, man. This news just doesn't seem good to me at the moment. But anyways, those are my thoughts and opinions on Sony axing the Spider-Man deal. What did you guys think of the news? Are you guys excited? Do you think this is what Spider-Man needs? I have heard some people that are unhappy with the MCU version of Spider-Man, so it's totally possible that this is good for some of you. Me personally, I'm a bit worried. But comment down below. Let me know what you guys think about this news, all your thoughts and opinions. I gotta get back to work. Thanks again for clicking on this video and checking out my channel. And once again, my name's Zachary Milne. Thank you for talking movies with me, and hope you have yourself a great day.